Hey everybody, welcome back to Tuesday Reactions. Show where we react to the week that was in the NFL and then look ahead for the next week. I'm Angelo.
I'm Ethan.
That's Will.
Hey, everybody.
Let's just jump right into it. Thursday Night Football. The Atlanta Falcons played at the Carolina Panthers. Weather was a factor in this game. It was a hurricane coming up the coast, so it was raining. We all picked Atlanta to win this game, and Atlanta lost.
Yeah.
Carolina took care of business, so no one gets a point in the game.
You see, the funny thing about this game is that when last week when we were doing Tuesday reactions, you told me that Carolina lost and I got a minus point for that. Well, not a minus, but I didn't get a point for it. And you said, yeah, pick Carolina next week. This is what I should have done. Pick Carolina next week.
You said don't pick Carolina next week, right? And you listened, but I mean, Thursday Night Football is a weird,
No,
weird
you said pick Carolina next week.
Then why didn't you?
Because I didn't want to listen to you.
Well, you should learn your lesson now. Ravens got to play Carolina next week. Think Carolina's going to go 2 in a row, Will?
I don't know. Baker Mayfield's back.
I didn't see Baker Mayfield will be starting. Baker Mayfield is starting, so we'll see how he does in Baltimore. Sunday football, we had an early game this week in Germany. Seemed pretty wild and crazy over there. 800,000 people wanted to get into this game. Obviously, they all couldn't. They were doing some crazy things there. They sang country roads over there. They were having a good time. A lot of Seattle fans, a lot of Tampa Bay fans, because Tom Brady's Tom Brady, so he travels like internationally with fans. And then Seattle, apparently, when Germany was getting into football, that was when the Legion of Boom and Russell Wilson and all were going to the Super Bowl a lot. So that's why they picked Seattle and Tampa Bay to play over there. They had the biggest fan bases, which was kind of cool. I figured that out. So in this game, Ethan picked Seattle, and Will and I both picked Tampa Bay. Next game on the list, we have the Minnesota Vikings at the Buffalo Bills. This was a game that Will picked differently because of my pick. So I picked first in this one. I picked Minnesota, and then Will thought, he was going to pick Buffalo. Is that what it was? You were going to pick Buffalo by yourself?
Yep.
Or you thought everyone was going to pick Buffalo, so you wanted Minnesota?
Yeah, I was going to pick Minnesota.
Right. But then you switched it, but then you switched it at the very end, and you took Minnesota anyway.
Yeah.
Right. This kid took Minnesota and then switched it to Buffalo, which was the wrong choice. Because what a game, man.
You shouldn't be allowed to switch anymore, I believe.
So Ethan is still at 0. I go to 2. And Will goes to 2.
This is where I'm going to start picking up some points with you.
So right now it's 2-2. This game. Josh Allen, man. I don't live in Buffalo, but is anyone saying that Josh Allen's the worst quarterback ever, needs to be benched? The backup needs to come in. Is there any talk about that?
No, it's because he just hurt.
When Lamar Jackson throws a pick to lose a game, or makes a bonehead decision, or fumbles the ball, or turns the ball over 3 or 4 times, oh wait a minute, he's never done that before. So why is this unfair? Talk. I mean, I don't know. Mahomes throws a pick to lose the game. Allen throws a pick to lose the game. All I know is one thing: is Minnesota has been the most consistent team in football. And they showed their wins and losses. They only win by like a possession. None of their games are blowouts. So I feel like you need that kind of mentality going into December football and then playoff football. Like you need to be able to win those tight games. And Minnesota's been proving that they can do it. So pretty good team in the NFC.
Mm-hmm.
Next game, the Detroit Lions at the Chicago Bears. This was a surprise. We all took Chicago. They were talking. We don't all take them. Will and I both took Chicago. Ethan took Detroit. They were talking about Justin Fields, this new offense. Going to put points up. Detroit's defense was terrible, but they were coming off a good win against Aaron Rodgers. And if you look at the score, the defense didn't play that well, but they did play well at the end. what I saw at the end, Will, was Aiden Hutchinson. Did you see any of this game? Did you see any highlights from this game?
Yeah, I saw the end.
Aiden Hutchinson played some big plays towards the end of the game, and they were able to win this game 31-30. So Ethan's going to get his first point, and Will and I both stay at 2 apiece.
I told you where I come.
All right, next game on the list, the Jacksonville Jaguars at the Kansas City Chiefs. No brainer for all of us. We all pick Kansas City, and Kansas City beat Jacksonville 27-17. So everybody gets a point here.
Now, the one big takeaway in this game was Juju Smith-Schuster. He got hurt,
Oh, yeah?
and they said he wasn't in for the game anymore.
Okay, well, we'll see if he comes back next week for that one. Next game on the list was Cleveland at Miami. I almost picked Cleveland in this game. I don't know why. Looking back now, I'm like, why would I even do that? I'm glad I didn't. We all picked Miami, though, and Ethan said as long as they stay healthy, and I heard this on the radio today, as long as Miami stays healthy, they're a pretty dangerous team. And sure enough, 39-17 blowout to Cleveland. They seem pretty dangerous there. So 3-4-4. All right. I skip a game? Yeah, I skipped Houston at New York Giants. Let me fix that.
1 hour later.
Next game on the list is the Houston Texans at the New York Giants. We all picked the New York Giants, and they won 24-16. Scoreboard seems a little closer than the Giants would probably like, but at least the Giants are back in the win column here. We all took New York, so Ethan goes to 4. I go to 5, and Will goes to 5. All right. Next game on the list, New Orleans Saints at the Pittsburgh Steelers. Man, I feel like we've gotten burnt by the New Orleans Saints a lot this year.
Yeah, no
Every
kidding.
time we pick them. Coming off of a tough loss to the Ravens, I thought maybe they would play better in Pittsburgh. Andy Dalton, Pittsburgh, just Kenny Pickett, man. They play good football. And they go and scrape one away here. 20-10 they win. So nobody gets a point in that one. Next game on the list, the Denver Broncos at the Tennessee Titans. This was a game that was closer than a lot of people thought probably. Denver's defense, man. I saw a stat. Did you see the stat? I'll probably put it up in the video.
That if they had scored 18 points all year, they'd be 8-1.
Yeah. And Drew Lock was averaging like 20 points a game. That's crazy, ain't it?
Yeah, it's pretty nuts.
And when spend how much money for Russell?
Too much.
Crazy. Well, there you go. Ethan, you picked Denver.
I swear to wait. Knowing that Pittsburgh.
You picked Denver, buddy. Oh, New Orleans. No, yeah, everybody gets nothing there in that one, right? So that was 4, 5.
I tried
And
Will
then
this
this
week.
is 4, and then 6.
Yeah.
There you go. Yeah, the Titans, man. Hold the ball, run the ball, sneak out of games. That's what they're doing. Oh, my goodness.
It's what I said the Ravens should be doing for the last 3 years. They don't do
Right.
that anymore.
We're going to see what they do this week with
And,
Carolina.
We'll get to it later, but you know exactly how Washington beat Philly.
Yeah, man. Well,
You know exactly how they did it.
there was 4 things that happened in that game that Philly would like back. That also helped.
Interceptions, turnovers.
Yeah, so we can talk about those fumbles too. Here we go. Jeff Saturday's coaching debut. Everyone was going to trash him. Everybody was going to say that Jim Irsay is nuts. Jeff Saturday's inexperienced. There's no way they're going to be able to beat the Las Vegas Raiders. He's going to put his foot in his mouth because he said they were trash. So here comes the game. I watched the first drive. They marched right down the field, score a touchdown. I'm like, uh-oh. That's not what the Raiders need. They don't need this team to feel like they can actually do this. And sure enough, Indianapolis beats the Raiders 25-20. Jeff Saturday gets his first win. Will, you took the Raiders. I took the Raiders. Ethan actually took Indy in this game, and he gets a point. We both said last week, if the Raiders don't win this game,
They're
so
good.
I'm pretty confident in saying that they're pretty done now. This team, there's no
Like
way.
in Houston.
I still don't understand that team. Like, there's a lot of disappointing teams this year, and like, The Raiders, the Rams,
Packers,
Packers,
Tampa Bay, I guess you can say.
Chargers.
Yeah.
Rams.
It's just so confusing.
It is. It's really there's Denver for that matter.
Chicago.
A lot of teams that had a lot of good hope this year are just not doing so good.
Buffalo.
Which bodes well for the Ravens from now to the end, because the Ravens are going to be healthy and are coming off a big break, and just Ravens should be
Yeah,
the team that can run through it.
John Harbaugh is John Harbaugh, so can't be too confident.
Johnny.
There was a report that a long tenured AFC head coach would be stepping away from the game at the end of the season, and obviously his name's in there because he's the longest tenured coach behind Tomlin and Belichick. But it's like those two other guys would easily step away before him. I mean, Belichick, if anybody, after this year.
Tomlin
just having a bad year.
Going for his head for 2 years.
Yeah,
straight up trade Harbaugh for Tomlin.
That's what you said. You said you do that. And John Harbaugh ain't going nowhere. I mean, he's not going nowhere. As long as Lamar's here, he ain't going nowhere.
How much longer is Lamar here?
Well, there you go. All right. Next game on the list. Now, these games here will decide the week. That's what we said. So Will and I picked the exact same teams the whole way through. We both got 6 points. Ethan was really close here still with us at this point. But now this is where the week really started going a different direction. So Dallas at Green Bay. Ethan took Dallas. I took Green Bay. And Will took Dallas. So the score went up +1 for me on this one. Ethan, you stayed at 5. I'm sorry. Here you go. Yeah, man, Aaron Rodgers. They did a good job in this game. Coming down, tying it up, going overtime, doing what they had to do.
Can I tell you the sad thing that I did when this game came on? I was wearing a Green Bay Packers Aaron Rodgers shirt.
Mm-hmm.
And then by the time they were about to win, that's when I knew.
They play Thursday night against the Titans.
Yeah.
So it should be another good test for them and see what they can do. Here comes Dallas, though. Dallas, in the end of the season, they always find a way to beat Dallas and see if they can break the ship next week. But that was a tough loss for them. NFC team that they should have beaten. All right, next game on the list is the Arizona Cardinals at the Los Angeles Rams. Here's another game where Ethan and Will both took the Rams, and I took Arizona, and Arizona won 27-17. So Ethan stays at 5. I go to 8, and Will stays at 6. So at this point, Will needed 2 wins just to tie, and I just needed to win 1 of the next games to be safe. So it was Sunday Night Football and Monday Night Football. I really thought the better chance for me would have been Sunday night, but yeah. Go ahead.
The Cardinals didn't have Kyler Murray playing either, so I don't understand. That game was super weird.
It was very weird. I can show you the stats though here. I pulled up right here.
Just to let you know, if Green Bay doesn't win the next game, I feel like they might not go to the playoffs. Especially Arizona. 4-6.
Colt McCoy, dude. Ready for this stat line? 26 out of 37, 238 yards and a touchdown. James Conner, 21 carries for 69 yards. 2 touchdowns he had, though. So Colt McCoy definitely hit DeAndre Hopkins. 14 targets. Rondell Moore, though, had 13 targets. Wow. So he spread the ball around. Let's see what the other guy did here. For the Rams. Wolford was his name, John Wolford. 24-36, 212 yards, a touchdown, and a pick. And I think there you go.
They had 2 touchdowns.
Was Kyler Murray playing Xbox? What the hell?
I think so, man. I think that's someone said that. Someone said, "Where's Kyler Murray?" And they said it's double XP weekend, man. Well, anyway, Arizona, they win and they get they got me in a good position here. So I couldn't lose this week. It was either going to be a tie or I win. So let's see what happens here. When this game started, I thought the Chargers looked good. There was a couple 3-and-outs for both sides, and then San Francisco switched gears, and
I think they shut them out in the second half.
that's what it was.
2000.
That's what I was going to say once I saw the score.
Was it 27 or 16? Something?
16, right? Yeah. It was 22-16, and the entire second half, the 49ers shut down the Chargers. The defense for the 49ers played really well, and they get the win. So Will moves up to 7. I stay at 8, and Ethan went to 6.
See, oh my gosh.
So it came down to Washington Commanders at the undefeated Philadelphia Eagles.
This is the one I was calling.
NFC football, NFC East football. I love it. Prime time. The scoreboard makes it a little bigger than it was. It was a really close game, and it came down to like 2 fumbles in the fourth quarter. What's his name? The tight end for
Dallas Goedert.
Goddard. I was going to say Goddard. Yeah, Goddard. It was a face mask. Guy got face masked, and when he was coming down to the ground, he lost the ball and then went down. So it was a fumble, but then the face mask happened. Now, here's my question, Will. Do you think if they're reviewing a play and they see a blatant penalty, you think they should be able to overturn that?
I think just like before when they were reviewing pass interference calls, I think if that was still a thing, that face mask should have been called. But it's not a thing, and everybody knows that, so I don't have any problem with that.
I love
I
that.
would expect a makeup call, which never came.
Oh, yeah. I do see makeup calls sometimes happen. But I was thinking to myself, like, the announcers and all were so quick to be like, well, now they can't call the face mask penalty. The face mask penalty isn't a thing now.
Yeah.
Like there must be a rule or something written that says, like, you can't overturn a penalty on a replay or, challenge. Like, the penalty is not part of the replay kind of thing, So I'm wondering if they could just change that and be like, not saying what you said, like not saying like it would be, pass interference type thing, or you're challenging the penalty. Just like when you're watching the replay happen, and you see a blatant face mask, like that wasn't even like the 5-yard, like that was a full, like 15-yard face mask. The reason he probably fumbled the ball was because his face was going down. He had a shoulder hit. Like, I don't know. To me, I was like, if that was me, if I was a Raven fan watching that, and a Raven got his face mask pulled down and he fumbled the ball and we lost the game, I think I'd be saying that I want to see replays get, changed in the course of a replay. But,
CBA.
Yeah, that'd be something to see if that comes up after this game and seeing how like blatant it was, just to see if they ever bring that up in the discussion or those like bargaining, like you said, those bargaining units there and rule committees and stuff. I think it'd be pretty cool to see. So anyway, after that, Philadelphia gets the ball back, and the guy gets a huge Jalen Hurts puts a beautiful pelt ball on a receiver, catches it over 2 defenders. He falls to the ground. He gets up. The guy wraps him up, throws him down, and he fumbles the ball. And then Washington gets the ball, and they recover it, and they start running the other way. So it's like, man, 2 drives in a row, 2 fumbles. Jalen Hurts threw a couple picks. Like, you want to be a good team, you want to be undefeated, but then you do that kind of stuff. It's like it was sloppy football from the Eagles, and the Washington Commanders didn't play sloppy football.
What a upset!
I think they probably had 40 minutes time of possession.
Yeah, even the last Hail Mary like back and forth lateral play, they messed that up, fumbled it, and Washington scored a touchdown in the last second. So if you had the under, those bad beats happen, But I want to look at Taylor Heineke's stats before we finish up the week here, just to see how he did.
How did they get 32?
Heineke, 17, 29, 211 yards, no touchdowns, and a pick. Antonio Gibson had 44 rushing yards, 1 touchdown, 14 carries. So not a lot of stats on their end. Whereas the Eagles, Jalen Hurts, 17 to 26, 2 touchdowns, 175 yards, and 1 pick. Only 1 pick. He ran a touchdown in too. So hero ball maybe a little bit. I don't know. Devontae Smith had a touchdown. Dallas Goedert had a touchdown. Yeah. Those turnovers, though, they're going to get you. You can play as great as you want. You turn the ball over 4 times, the other team's going to have a great chance of winning. So, that being said, Ethan picked Philly. So his final score is 6. Will picked Philly. His final score is 7. And I picked Washington Commanders. My final score was 9. So there we go. This week's winner is 2 weeks in a row now.
2 weeks in a row.
1.
Man, feels good, man. Feels good going streaking. Oh boy.
Let me know when you get to 4.
Here we go. Angelo's the big winner. Put it up on the board. All right.
Then
Okay. We close this down. Stop sharing that.
okay, instant.
And now it's time for our favorite Tuesday night show. Fact or
Math.
fiction?
Or friction.
Fiction, not friction.
Can I use the bathroom now?
Will, fact or fiction? You got a great streak going on. Had a little snag this week. Last week, our fact or fiction was that Matt Stafford would run or throw or catch 2 touchdowns. He would just score 2 touchdowns in the stat line. We found out game of time decision. He did not play. He had a concussion. Okay. So only fair that you don't get deducted on that because of
Void.
of all that. Right.
Voided.
So fact or fiction just will be a push or don't even matter this week. Almost like you didn't do it. I had a fact or fiction this week. Ethan was a guest host last week. My fact or fiction was Tom Brady would become the first player to win in 4 different countries. He won in Mexico. He won in America, obviously. London, Britain. And
Germany.
Now he won in Germany. So Tampa Bay beat the Seahawks, and he wins in 4 countries. Super cool for Tom Brady to put that to his resume. Okay? Cool. This week, fact or fiction. All right, Ethan. Back on the fact or fiction train here. Got one for you. Aaron Rodgers got a win this week, trying to right the ship. Let's see if he can keep it rolling. They got to play Tennessee this week on Thursday Night Football on a short week. Defenses usually don't do so well, but neither do offenses. So this is kind of a weird stat line to throw out here. But Aaron Rodgers, back-to-back MVP, will throw for 300 yards or more against the Tennessee Titans defense.
That is fiction.
So he will throw less than 300 yards
Yes.
against the Titans. Cool. All right. I would like to see who you pick then for that game tomorrow. We'll see. Well, Ray Lewis went on Instagram or TikTok, one of those social media platforms, and said the Raven defense looks for real right now. Roquan Smith coming in, boosting the defense up. Players coming back from injury. Ojabo was practicing today. Tyus Bowser coming back into the fold. This team seems ready to go after a long break. They're playing against the Carolina Panthers at home, 1 o'clock this Sunday. The Raven defense will hold the Carolina Panthers offense to 10 or less points this week. Fact or fiction?
So I think the Ravens defense shows up. I think they're re-energized, especially after a bye week. Now, familiarity with Baker Mayfield with the Ravens, I think in the past he's probably scored more than 10 points against them for sure.
Mm-hmm.
But I just think that the Ravens are on a mission the rest of the season. And, I think it's a real possibility that they get the 1 seed for the playoffs. So I think it starts this week, and I think they'll keep them down. I'm not going to say they'll shut them out, but I definitely see less than 10 points.
Awesome. So there you go. Fact for Will, fiction for Ethan.
Fact and friction.
And I'm just, I'm here for the ride, man. Should be fun either way. All right. Sounds good. Tuesday reactions in the book. We're over the halfway part here. Next week, man, we got Thanksgiving games to react to. It's gonna be fun.
Can I tell you a quick fact about the Green Bay Packers?
Does it need to be on the video?
Yes.
Go ahead quickly.
That the Green Bay Packers with Aaron Rodgers have not been to the playoffs in 3 seasons.
have not been to the playoffs. So they
Have
have been to the playoffs in 3 seasons. Last 3 seasons
they've been in the playoffs for 3 seasons
in a row.
in a row.
Yeah.
And they're looking at not going to the playoffs. It might be the first time.
There was a
they are.
time where the John Harbaugh led, Joe Flacco led Baltimore Ravens went to 6 consecutive playoffs and won a game in each one. How cool is that?
And lost in the second.
Our fearless quarterback now can't do that.
No, our fearless quarterback started off 0-1 in the playoffs and then 0-2 in the playoffs, and then finally got a win his third year.
And then 1 in the third.
All right, you good? Sounds good to me. Yeah, I hope we get that 1 seed because I don't want to go to Buffalo again, man. Nobody wants to play in Buffalo.
Nobody.
I honestly think any given Sunday this year, I don't think there's any one team
When the
that's
Ravens were playing.
far and away better than anybody else.
The only team that would beat us in the tiebreaker is Miami. So, and Buffalo, but Buffalo's fell down the game, didn't they?
Yeah,
Now,
but
so
Miami shouldn't really scare you. You're up by 28 points in the fourth quarter.
right, but I was just saying, like if we have the same record as them at the end, like if they went out and we went out, they beat us. So
I'd rather play in Miami with the warm weather than in Buffalo.
100%, I agree with that.
Definitely.
But
Angelo.
at the same time, we might have to play Buffalo because there's no bye weeks anymore. So like, I don't know. We'd have to be like that second seed then, at least.
It just matters who's going to stay healthy and who isn't. That's all.
There you go.
And I
right,
don't trust
finish
the
it up.
Ravens to stay
Angelo.
healthy because they never do.
Really fast. Not going to be in the video.
Okay, well, let me count down that 1, 2, 3. All right, choose the reactions in the book. Tune in tomorrow for our picks. I'm Angelo.
That's Ethan.
That's Ethan. That's Will.
Bye, everybody.
See you later. All right, what are you saying?
When the Bills and Ravens game.